Benjamin Gezer Affleck Bolt, better known as Ben Affleck, is an American actor and filmmaker. He has won 2 Academy Awards and 3 Golden Globe Awards. Affleck began his career as a child actor, starring in the PBS educational series The Voyage of the Mimi. He later appeared in Dazed and Confused and various Kevin Smith films including Chasing Amy and Dogma. Affleck gained fame when he and childhood friend Matt Damon won the Academy Award and Golden Globe Award for Best Original Screenplay for Good Will Hunting. He then starred in high-profile films including Armageddon, Shakespeare in Love, Pearl Harbor, Changing Lanes and The Sum of All Fears. After a career downturn, during which he appeared in Daredevil and the much-derided Giggly, Affleck received a Golden Globe nomination for his performance in Hollywoodland. His directorial debut, Gone Baby Gone, which he also wrote, was well received in 2007. He then directed, co-wrote, and starred in The Town. For the political thriller Argo, which he directed and starred in, Affleck won the Golden Globe Award and BAFTA Award for Best Director, and the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award and BAFTA Award for Best Picture. In 2014, he starred in the psychological thriller Gone Girl. Starting in 2016, Affleck will portray Batman in the DC Extended Universe, starting with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and will direct, write and star in Live by Night in 2017. Affleck is the co-founder of the Eastern Congo Initiative, a grant-making and advocacy-based non-profit organization. He is also a stalwart member of the Democratic Party. His younger brother is actor Casey Affleck, with whom he has worked on several films including Good Will Hunting and Gone Baby Gone. Following high-profile relationships with Gwyneth Paltrow and Jennifer Lopez, Affleck married Jennifer Garner in 2005. Affleck has 2 daughters and a son with Garner, from whom he separated in June 2015. Early life. Benjamin Gezer Affleck Bolt was born in Berkeley, California. The surname Affleck is of Scottish origin. He also has English, Irish, German and Swiss ancestry. His parents named him Gezer after a Hungarian Jewish friend who survived the Holocaust. His mother, Christopher Ann Chris, was raised on New York's Upper East Side by her mother Elizabeth, director of public information at the Museum of Modern Art for over 30 years, and her mother's second husband, Samuel Shaw, an attorney. Chris's father, O'Brien Obi Bolt, was a Democratic activist and professor of political science at the City University of New York. Chris was educated at Radcliffe College and Harvard University, and taught at the Brearley School before working as a public elementary school teacher for 30 years. Affleck's father, Timothy Byers Affleck of Rhode Island, was an actor and stage manager with the theater company of Boston in the mid-1960s and worked alongside Dustin Hoffman, Robert Duvall, Blythe Danner, Jon Voight and James Woods. During Affleck's childhood, Timothy worked as an auto mechanic, a carpenter, a bookie, an electrician, a bartender and a janitor at Harvard University. While Affleck has described his father as a very smart guy, his chronic alcoholism often made Affleck's childhood scary and trying. His parents divorced when he was 11 and Affleck was raised by his mother. His father's life hit the skids in Affleck's teens. When Affleck was 16, his father moved to Indio, California, completed rehabilitation, became an addiction counselor and later reconnected with his adult sons. The family moved to Massachusetts when Affleck was 2, living in Falmouth, where his brother Casey was born, before settling in Central Square, Cambridge. Affleck was raised in a politically active, very left-wing household. He and his brother were surrounded by people who worked in the arts, were regularly taken to the theater by their mother, and were encouraged to make their own home movies. The brothers auditioned for roles in local commercials and film productions because of their mother's friendship with the casting director. Affleck first acted professionally at the age of 7. His mother saved his wages in a college trust fund and hoped her son would ultimately become a teacher, worrying that acting was an insecure and frivolous profession. David Wheeler, a family friend, was Affleck's acting coach and later described him as a very bright and intensely curious child. When Affleck was 13, he filmed a children's television program in Mexico. He spent a year traveling around the country with his mother and brother and learned to speak Spanish. Affleck later said that he has mixed feelings about his experiences as a child actor. At age 8, Affleck became friends with 10-year-old Matt Damon, who lived 2 blocks away and had recently moved back to the area. Their mothers, who both worked in education and were acquaintances, made the introduction and encouraged them to spend time together. They became extremely close while high school students at Cambridge Ringe and Latin. Although they were in different grades, the friends had identical interests, and spent their lunch breaks discussing their plans to become actors. Both were greatly inspired by their high school drama teacher Jerry Specker, and, as teenagers, they traveled to New York for acting auditions, saving money for train and airline tickets in a joint bank account. They had many summer jobs together, working as construction workers and cinema ushers. While Affleck had high SAT scores, he was an unfocused high school student with poor attendance. He was accepted by the University of Virginia but instead followed a girlfriend to the University of Vermont, where he took Spanish classes. He left the university months later with no credits, after fracturing his hip and realizing his love was unrequited. He then moved to Los Angeles, studying Middle Eastern affairs at Occidental College for a year and a half. Affleck dropped out when a creative writing professor ridiculed an early draft of the Good Will Hunting screenplay.